I custom made this unit 2 years ago. In fact, it was my 9th TikTok, but what I didn't think about when I was making it is that it's quite hard to access what's inside. So I'm really wanting to find a way of making accessing what's inside easier. As before, I started out with clearing the space and getting rid of anything that doesn't need to be in here. And this is me having no idea yet how to solve this problem. How would you solve this problem? You gave me some great ideas on how best to make use of this space. You pointed out how easy things were to access in here. So we're going to do something quite similar for the main part. Let me show you how I got here. I measured the entire unit, including measuring where the dead space will be. I have to find a way to work around these pipes. The cupboard currently has doors, but we don't want that because as you'll recall, it was really hard to access what was inside. So instead I'm going to make 3 drawers, and the top drawer will wrap around the pipes a bit like this one. It's possible to buy ready-made drawers for this. I'm going to make it with what I already have.
Do you think that's going to be possible?
Today, I challenge you to channel your inner superhero. Did I feel like doing DIY today? No, I did not. And when that happens, it's time to save the day.
Did it?
My goal for today is to cut out all of the pieces for the 3 drawers.
Oof, look at all that maths.
Oh my gosh, I need 19 pieces. A table saw would be ideal for this job, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using my circular saw. I even managed to finish the pocket holes and to tidy up my space. So if there's a job that you're putting off, don't forget to channel your inner superhero.
The dancing is optional, but not gonna lie, it does help. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, that's not right.
I messed up. Somewhere along the line, the measurements weren't quite correct, and this is when I noticed that they don't fit.
No!
They're not wide enough by 2.5 centimetres. But hey, it happens. I decided I don't want to recut the drawers, so this is how I'm going to fix it. I mounted the drawer runners onto these slithers of wood.
Wait, slithers or is it silvers? I always forget.
See, problem solved, no fuss. Next up, there's the tricky challenge of putting on the drawer fronts so that they're straight. So here's how you turn this into this. To attach these drawer fronts, I started by drilling the holes for the handles. I drilled through all 3 pieces at once to make it faster. To hold them in place, I used a clamp, and then I was able to secure through the back with 4 screws. Then my clamp stopped working. But that's okay, because I don't need it for the top one.
I need a new one.
There's no space to use the clamp here. So instead, I temporarily drilled the front onto the drawer using the handle holes. Then I could secure it from the inside and remove the screws.
Now these are going to be loads easier to access.
Here's the final colour. Oh wait, this is too fast. Let's back up. This was where we got to yesterday. The drawers were ready for a paint job and they needed to do something about these handles, mismatching and missing. But before that, I hadn't finished 2 of the bases on the drawers. And I used a set square to make sure the drawer would be true. Once they were nailed in place, I used this multi-tool to cut off the excess. The handles are getting a new lease of life from some spray paint, and despite making a huge mess, I managed to prime all of the drawers. I give the wood a light sand in between each coat and makes the finish much smoother. So that's all of the prep work done. This week we turned this into this. To finish this project, I painted 2 coats of colour and 1 coat of varnish. This protects the wood from water and chips and knocks. The handles were spray painted and all of the hardware was added back on. After everything was painted, I realised the bottom drawer was a little bit too high and shaved a tiny bit off the top of the drawer using my planer. And this was such a small change, but it's made this home storage solution so much easier. And these drawer dividers are insanely useful.
And it meant that every single thing has its own dedicated space.
What do you think of the final result?
Hopefully this has given you some inspo to improve the storage solutions in your home. And if you enjoyed this series, share with a friend who would love it too, and follow along for the next one.